Step into the abandoned corridors of the USG Ishimura once more as the horrors of the necromorphs loom around every corner. This time it's not just a simple remaster, it's a full-blown remake, packed with cutting-edge graphics and immersive gameplay. Will it live up to the hype and strike fear into the hearts of a new generation? Stick around to find out if Dead Space 2023 is a worthy addition to the franchise or just another shallow attempt to cash in on nostalgia for this edition of Cash or Pass. What's up, sassy gamers? Phoenix Nova of Sass Gaming here with another Cash or Pass. Today we're going to dive into Motive Studios' Dead Space 2023. Released in 2008, the original Dead Space from Visceral Studios was a genre-defining horror masterpiece. With its unique blend of sci-fi and survival horror, fans were captivated by the terrifying necromorphs and the compelling story. The game received critical acclaim, winning several awards and becoming a fan favorite. It's a difficult task to remake such an iconic game that left such an indelible mark on the industry. So with the bar set high, let's jump in and see if Dead Space 2023 lives up to the high expectations of its predecessor. First things first, let's talk about the visuals. The Dead Space remake is a masterclass in graphical fidelity. With updated geometry, high-resolution textures, and a wealth of new objects that make the game world more immersive than ever before. Now, the use of shaders is a particular standout, creating a haunting atmosphere with gorgeous lighting effects, creepy fog, and the ever-present wet look from fluids best left unnamed. In comparison to the original game, the difference is night and day. When playing the 360 version at 1440p on my Xbox Series X, the original looks great, but put them side by side and there's simply no comparison. The remake is so much better looking. The sound design is equally impressive, with everything from Isaac's iconic stomp, the wet squelching of body parts, to the quarantine alarms blaring that pull you further into the game's world. The most notable departure is that Isaac now has a voice. Played by Gunnar Wright, Isaac now participates in conversations around him instead of just getting a bunch of exposition dumped on you. Scenes had to be rewritten for this, with some lines given to different characters and new lines being put in to help flesh out the dialogue.
Some of them were wearing Ishimura uniforms.
The maps have also seen big changes. Some areas will feel familiar with only minor changes to the layout, while others have been completely reworked, adding new paths and rooms to keep the game flow interesting and fresh. The early tram sequences being a notable example of this, with some walls being removed from one of the sides. Also, some of the memorable interactive cutscenes have been changed. This is just enough to throw you off guard and surprise you when they don't play out exactly as you remember. New mechanics have been introduced to the maps, like electrical fuse boxes where you have to choose between opening the door or leaving the lights on. Then there's the new security clearance levels needed to access some of the rooms and lockers. Talking about gameplay in general, the game itself has been made more challenging. However, there's also a new story mode for those of you that want to enjoy the game that way. A modern refresh has been applied to the control scheme, including improvements for the zero-G sequences with rotation and thrusters for better maneuverability. And then there's a welcome addition of a variety of accessibility options, including subtitles, color blindness with contrast levels, aim assist, auto switching of weapons, and even a single button quick time events. Additionally, there are sensitivity settings that provide content warnings of upcoming gore and the ability to hide disturbing scenes entirely. So what didn't work? For one thing, there's a bug in the controls where you can't sprint. The workaround is straightforward, just reset all of your controls to default. That is, unless you use a gaming keypad, in which case there is no fix. You just have to unplug it. The save system, while faster, is archaic. Stopping to have a camera take my picture breaks the tension and immersion, leading to a less scary game. And all of these new changes come at a cost. During installation, the game warns you that if you do not install on an SSD drive, that it will not play right. In conclusion, should you buy it or pass on it? I'm going to say this is a cash. It is a must play for any horror games out there. Even if you've played the original multiple times, there's still a sense of discovery in this remake that makes it worth playing. And for all those who've never played Dead Space before, trust me, you won't regret it. Those that should pass on this are anyone that didn't like the original because, let's be honest, it's still the same game at its base. Also, anyone that is particularly sensitive to body horror or jump scares, well, you probably don't want to play this anyway. Well, that's it for Cash or Pass for Dead Space 2023. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe to SAS Gaming for more videos like this. And always, keep on gaming. As a bonus, did you know that there was a 1991 movie called Dead Space? A virus is found on an alien planet that turns humans into monsters. The scientists send a distress call. The person answering it damages their ship in responding and finds out that the scientists are trying to study the virus. Creator of Dead Space the game, Glenn Schofield, credits Event Horizon for his inspiration to create the Dead Space game. But who knows? Maybe he saw that movie too. Then again, that synopsis also fits the movie Alien.